I didn't quite make a time limit.
Oh,
But
I jumped in.
No. I'm just making fun of myself. So now we're going to do some hands-on stuff. We want you to have an opportunity to actually work with the tool. Were you able to download and install it?
I was, yes.
Okay.
I'm not quite there yet.
Okay.
Oh, we'll get there.
But I think I can follow along.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So to start out with, we thought that kind of an easy introduction to the tool is to actually go and download one of the templates that Emmanuel has created for us and to kind of use that to customize. So let me just start out. I'm going to start up from the beginning here. And I'm going to just open up CSCR.
What was the bit before that? Templates?
We'll
Sorry,
go back to it.
let me go
Yeah.
back. It is right
There it is.
there.
Right there.
CSCR.
Oops.
Oh,
It should, I don't, boy, I think I might have misdone, yeah, I did mistype the template, or the
Oh,
bit.ly,
okay.
it's CSSCR.
Oh. So I have to go with the bit.ly that you wrote in there?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's all right. CSSCR, okay.
Yeah,
Were you thinking about programming?
I probably just was sloppy. All right, so I'm gonna open up CSCR Builder. And the first time you open it, you might get a little warning basically saying, hey, just to let you know, this is kind of a homegrown tool under development.
Still in beta, so
Yep.
I think it says. Yeah.
This is not the first time I've opened this tool, so it's not giving me the warning. But what I want to do now is I'm going to go to the templates page. And I'm going to download the simple branching case example. So if I click on it, it'll prompt me, say, hey, where do you want to download it? I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to go through it. But then I'm going to say, in CSCR, I'm going to say open existing scenario. And I'll navigate to the project and click open. And here we go. We've got CSCR in this window here. I'm going to minimize everything else just to try to make the screen a little less complex. And we've got our basic controls up at the top. And the stuff that we want to pay attention to is down here while we're customizing the CSCR. So if I want to, I can basically add pages and sections, and we can see that I've already got one section and 3 pages. And the pages consist of an introduction and 2 branches. And I can customize anything I want in here, and this is what I'm going to want you to do next. So for example, I'm going to change this to, you walk in the room. You see a red door and a blue door. You hear rumbling behind the red door. What do you do? But this could just as easily be, you walk into the, I'm not going to get the terminology right, but you walk into the patient's exam room. The patient introduces himself as Dan LaValley, and he is experiencing back pain or something to that effect.
This is also a good place to introduce what role the student's going to take. So basically, you're an intern in the hospital, or you're following a medic through the ER or something.
Yeah, so let's add a role. So you are and I'm just using gamer speak here, you are an adventurer. But yes, it would be better to, for our sake, you are a clinical psychologist, or you're an emergency room PA, or whatever the role might be that the students need to take on.
You're a little off the screen. Can you scooch over? I think you're just missing. Oh, it's just half the angle.
You are right.
I think for these introduction pages, it's also good to have the objectives, what they're supposed to get out of the case, as well as estimated time completion, how long they should spend on here.
Let's add that.
And all of this text is all rich text, so you can have links in any of this, or, wait, no, not links.
So
just to back on the site, so the examples that you have posted on the page, are they identified with a specific template? Like, this is an example that was built with this kind of template, this is an example that was built with that kind of template?
The examples I don't think are going to specifically say, if you want something like this, use this
Should be
template.
fairly intuitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what I want to show you here is, and then I'm going to just kind of cut you loose, and we are available for any questions that you might have. These are super easy to customize. So in this case, this just says what branch do you want to go down. If I double click on this, I can change this to, I'm going to change this to which door do you open? Question mark. And I'll change the answer to blue door, and then if I select branch 2, I can just say red door. And we can see that on each answer, what it's doing is it's going to go to branch 1 or branch 2.
So we basically inserted this button that will be inside the feedback that the students get, and we've set the button to link to one of the other pages. So that's kind of how you build a navigation within case scenario.
So I'll say you open the red door.
So it's not like PowerPoint where everything's linear. You can build your own branching as you go along.
And then I'll change branch 1 to, call it red room and blue room.
Is the rumbling a snow,
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. So, okay, I've customized it. I'm totally happy with that. My learning objectives are going to be met by this amazing case scenario I've authored. And if I now click Preview Project, it's going to open my default browser. And this is kind of important because depending on the platform that you're on, Windows or Mac, you'll want to make sure that it opens on Firefox. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Firefox.
Just because it can have problems previewing in some of the other browsers. So you might have to change your default browser. Or you can always open it manually in Firefox, and we can help you do that
This is
too.
just for previewing.
Just
Once
for
you're
previewing
done,
in production, I'm sorry.
yeah, same question. I think.
I was about to say it too. Yes, just for previewing, it works fine on any browser.
Once it's hosted on a server,
Yep.
it's mostly Internet Explorer or Safari blocking any scripting languages locally on your computer from running in the browser.
They're just paranoid about potential virus or malware.
Yeah, so
So, I can preview it and say, oh, let's see, blue door, okay. Looks like it's working. What I would do next is, I'm not going to go through this whole process now because I want you to have time in the tool and for us to help you out. We would then go to publish, and it would, by default, it's going to save it as a zip archive, and then we can upload that to Learn at UW, extract it, and then we would link to the index file. And this CSCR can then live in Learn at UW or in Moodle, and your students can then use it.
or you can host a zip file on your server and link to it from there. So.
If you have a departmental web server, if you wanted to make a case scenario public, you want to educate the public on a certain issue that you think a case scenario might help them understand, you could put this on any web server and link to it from a departmental website.
I have an idea for a public one because I frequently get questions about our program. It's like if you're already hold a degree, here's ways to go here. If you don't have your degree yet, here's where you go. If you're interested in this program, here's where you go. And you might be able to build a sort of informational thing that walks people through learning about
That's great,
the
yeah.
program.
Yep, absolutely. So, again, I want to give you time to work in the tool.
Idea list.
We are available here for you to answer questions. Just let us know. Thank you very much.
So, has anyone ever made Zork with this?
I know, but you could totally do that.
Could you?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that like choose your own adventure?
Choose your own adventure.
I was just thinking about that today, thinking, is it Myst? Did Myst have that element in it?
Yeah.
I think journalism did a little bit of that with the outcome. They basically had a student get a story basically, and they go through it and talk to the police and talk to different people, and depending who you talk to, you'll end up with a different outcome. Either you talk to the right people, talk to the wrong people, took too long. So
You can make it Sweet Dungeons and Dragons scenario.
So then, can you also have a timed element of
No,
this?
too much.
not in CSCR. But
So, not in the way that you're thinking. So, I think what the student did in this case is they probably used the scoring mechanism to tell how many places the
Got
student
it.
had gone.
So if they went to 5 places, then they've run out of time.
Exactly. Yep. It's kind of a meta timeline.
Yeah. We did the same sorts of things with errors.
Gotcha. Cool. So basically, I think the issue is that CSCR, it essentially has a score variable that you can modify.
Narrative and stories.
So it's that's the one thing that you can modify.
Yeah, there's one variable.
Captivate, you can have multiple variables. So it's a much more complex tool,
Yeah.
but, again, that's why it's more complex, because you can do these other things with it. But you can see that this is a lot easier to get into than Captivate.
Louis, have you made any of these?
I have not yet.
Have you seen anybody in your area who's done that?
No, I was just running that through. I'm going to ask some questions.
Ways to tell the story from the patient's point of view, so this sort of tracking the clinical interaction. I'm just not
The
sure.
last time I played with this was probably 4 years ago, and it's much nicer now.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they find a way to keep it going.
Yeah.
This American lifestyle.
Because I think it's worth it. But
Well, there's such an interest. I'm teaching that Delta class right now, and we just did screencasting, and screencasting is worrying in a lot of ways.
Thanks for coming, Louis.
Thank you.
So,
Time to catch a bus.
all right, thank you very, very much.
So I'm just kind of
Thank you.
exploring.
but one of my students was talking about how in her class they used this
Looked at some of these.
CSCA something tool.
I have.
And I was like,
The language.
Huh.
I told him about this, and it didn't show up apparently.
Medical.
But